In a bid to elevate port operations to world standards, Nigerian Shippers Council and Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission (Fccpc) took fresh steps to strengthen their relationship by organizing a one-day sensitization program for stakeholders on consumer rights and responsibilities in the ports and shipping sector. This follows an earlier collaboration that took place in Abuja. That event is the subject of our program today. That and the usual tidbit segment will come your way after the break. Do stay with us.
Nigerian Shippers Council Day to serve you well. No matter the problem, we go solve them for you.
Yes, so the Nigerian Shippers Council they feel in a parole now for every level, and as soon as goods they move from port A go enter port B with a measure within on a need. For the Nigerian Shippers Council, we don't sharp proper to fit hear you wella, work with you wella, and help you fit serve your customers them better, no matter where them day. As we country port economic regulator, the Nigerian Shippers Council get every now to fit make government consider the problem where shippers them they face. Visit we office for number 4 or to buy your daily show your daily lane. Papa email us for nsc@shipperscouncil.gov.ng. We website now www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
For you, we dey gidigba,
Nigerian Shippers Council with a meeting now for the port of Nani.
To hear the port environment described as hectic in the 21st century is something of an embarrassment. Most ports in the world can be described as havens of peace, as human contact has been virtually eliminated, even though a number of agencies are still present to ensure that the process of importing and exporting proceeds seamlessly. In addition to instituting such a regime in Nigeria's ports, a significant part of being Port Economic Regulator for Nigerian Shippers Council is ensuring fairness towards all parties who use the ports. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission (Fccpc), the agency of government saddled with the responsibility of protecting consumers and promoting fair trade, is therefore a natural partner with whom Shippers Council should collaborate.
This type of interactive session should be a continuous exercise because we learn every day and problems are dynamic. What constitutes problem today, by tomorrow, another problem may come when we have solved this one. So there's need for continuous interaction. Freight forwarders have somebody or an organization to look up to, right? But we are not expecting that every problem we get, they will solve them in 1 minute. But with this type of continuous engagement, I think they are very well disposed to attend to problems in the port. They need more encouragement from government and more authorization.
Most of the time, when we have issues, we run to Shippers Council to mediate between we and either the terminal operators or the other government regulators. So I will give credit to Nigerian Shippers Council for their timely intervention and robust attention they are giving us in the area of regulation.
Let's now join Abike Idowu as she presents Adeshino Abiodun's report on the sensitization program.
With a mandate to protect and promote the interest and the welfare of consumers, by providing them with a wider variety of quality services, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, established by the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Act 2018, has an ideal partner in Nigerian Shippers Council. This is with regard to the agenda of providing a level playing field for all who work and use the ports. In furtherance of this objective, a conference was organized to showcase the partnership and sensitize all relevant stakeholders comprising shippers, freight forwarders, ship operators, terminal operators, and barge operators, amongst many others. Director, Human Resources Management of the Council, Mrs. Adaku Okam, represented the Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer, Right Honorable Emmanuel Jime.
Is in line with Section 5.15 of the MOU, which states that parties shall jointly or individually sensitize and enlighten the consumers and stakeholders on the rights and responsibilities in relation to shipping matters. We plan to conduct sensitization exercises at various ports and inland locations to harvest necessary inputs from stakeholders on how the industry can operate seamlessly with little or no infringement on rights of users and providers of shipping and port services. This is to ensure that all stakeholders are carried along in the process of developing the consumer protection regime, so as to build trust and confidence before rolling out the scheme.
The Executive Vice Chairman of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, Dr. Babatunde Irukera, commended the Executive Secretary, Chief Executive Officer of Nigerian Shippers Council for the collaborative initiative, noting that collaboration among government agencies will further strengthen relationships. He was represented by the Director, Legal Services, Tamno Kobia.
We need to push the frontiers of our cooperation and collaboration to a higher level. And on that note, I want to commend the Executive Secretary. I would like to commend the Council, your Nigerian Shippers Council, for collaborating with us. As the first speaker has said, we have started this collaboration. Time was when the Fccpc has been in this apapa to carry out stringent enforcement we call done rate. But that has not happened since this collaboration, has been in place. We need to collaborate effectively. I have looked at the Shipper Council's Act. I've looked at our Act. In both cases, collaboration is highlighted. We should collaborate effectively. In everything we do, let's put the consumer at the heart of the matter we are resolving. Whether at the port, whether at the point of entering into agreements, we must ensure that the consumer is protected.
Director, Convention on Business Integrity, Mr. Emmanuel Bosa, who spoke on the topic Ethics and Integrity in Ports and the Shipping Sector, called on Nigerian Shippers Council, shipping companies and terminal operators to have a clearly spelled out standard operating procedure for effective service delivery, timeliness and transparency in their own operation.
The key take home is that we are all in this together. All port users, whether you're a regulator, whether you're a shipping company, whether you're an importer or exporter, or whether you're a freight forwarder, we're all in this together. And we all have a collective responsibility to promote and improve integrity in the port industry every single day through our actions and through our compliance to set rules and SOPs. I think the effort of convening through the Fccpc and Shippers Council, convening stakeholders to discuss about the power of anti-corruption, but more broadly, consumer rights and also integrity is substantial. It is a shift in the right direction. It demonstrates that the regulators understand the role they're supposed to play in the industry, that they genuinely do care about the well-being of the industry, but most importantly, that they have the best interest of the businesses, the thousands of businesses that operate in this industry at heart. What that should show to the business community is to extend their hand of partnership, to work better with the regulators, to identify the standards that's fit for purpose for the industry, and most importantly beyond that, how do we operate? How do we operate in the short term, in the medium term, and in the long term to ensure that everything functions as well as should be?
In his own capacity as Director Legal Services of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, Mr. Tam Tamunokobia also presented a paper titled Consumers' Rights and Responsibilities of Stakeholders in the Ports and Shipping Sector, in which he outlined his commission's statutory role as an agent of the government.
Generally, everything that has an advantage, in most cases, also has a disadvantage. So we're concentrating today on the rights, responsibilities, and duties of consumers. While we have seen the rights that we have discussed here, so many rights, right to information, right to choice, right that a consumer can return a product that is defective, right that his goods can be replaced when he returns to the retailer, right to make an order that he has made to be cancelled. All those rights are rights of the consumer. But generally, while the consumer has rights, he also has some obligations, some duties. But I think the consumer is not doing badly. He's doing well in his duties. What we need to ensure is that his rights are protected by manufacturers, by producers, by retailers, by sellers in the market. And if that happens, the person who is a consumer today would be a seller tomorrow. And so we are all consumers at the end of the day.
Director, Consumer Affairs Department of the Council, Chief Kajitan Agu, chaired the technical session.
For your comments, for your input, it has to be directed towards what you think are the rights and responsibilities of stakeholders in the sector. We have to look at it in two ways. There are people that make use of the port, coming to receive services. There are equally people that provide these services. In the Nigerian Shippers regulation, we capture them as port-regulated service providers and users. And the question we need to ask at this juncture, what are the expectations of the people receiving services at the port? What are the expectations of people providing services at the port? So it has to come from these two perspectives.
In an interview with the shipper, a member of the governing board of Council for the Regulation of Freight Forwarding in Nigeria, Chief Increase Uche, described consumer protection regime as a welcome development in Nigeria's maritime sector.
What is going on today, in fact, is a welcome development. Because with it now, with this collaboration with Fccpc and the Shippers Council, I think it's a new dawn in the sense that whatever the Shippers Council is doing in the port sector will now be, backed up by the Fccpc. And then the entire thing will just give the real perspective that the economy requires. That where the Shippers Council is having it difficult, the FCA has a role to cover up. Now we have heard of the role of FCA, not just their former role of consumer protection, but now it's competition in the sense that it creates the atmosphere for the consumer welfare, full welfare, just like what Shippers Council is doing at the port. Trying to tame the terminal operators, the shipping companies, and all this to conform, to build integrity so that the supply chain could, be sanitized, and then we'll have a level and a conducive environment for business to thrive.
A maritime journalist, Yusuf Babalola, expressed the view that this type of sensitization programs be held on a monthly or quarterly basis.
To the Shippers Council, this is long overdue because majority of people that are making use of the port, they don't even know their right. They don't even know that they are entitled to one or two things. They don't even know what they are entitled to. And it's not their fault. It's because they don't know. Though they will tell you ignorance is not an excuse. But you know, at times what you don't know, you can't enforce it. You can't seek an enforcement of what you don't know. So in that state, I will appreciate Shippers Council for this. I applaud them for this. This is a right step in the right direction, but they shouldn't let it be a one-off thing. It should be on, maybe it's going to be a quarterly basis or half-year basis or yearly basis. Sensitization like this should come so that people will know their rights. People will know when their rights are being trampled upon. People will know when operators are trampling on their rights. People will know when government agencies are trampling on their rights. And when you have Fccpc in the sector, it also make operators sit right. Someone is watching over us. You know, we can see the Fccpc has been clamping down on loan sharks. So loan sharks now, they are being careful. They are not overbearing like they were before. And it's not because of anything, it's because they know somebody is watching. So definitely, if somebody is also watching operators in the sector, there are now two layers. Shippers Council is watching us. Fccpc is watching us, then definitely we'll get our port competitive and we're going to get a lot of cargoes into the country.
Other stakeholders who spoke with the shipper applauded Shippers Council for the role played even prior to this conference at the ports in the area of consumer protection and expressed expectations of better days ahead.
I thank Shippers Council for the training and retraining, conferences, seminars, workshop and colloquium, what have we. Because they are doing this not because they are only a parastatal of government that have that particular budget given to them, but Shippers Council use the budget very well in this regards and then use it to update people on what is happening in the society, especially in the maritime sector.
As Port Economic Regulator, it is imperative that Nigerian Shippers Council seek all avenues to create an environment where providers of services, users of these services, and other stakeholders can operate without hindrance. This is the expected end result of this program. We are confident that this collaboration will bring positive change and further ease doing business at the nation's ports. Let's now join Oluwasegun Aloko for tidbits.
Celebrations marked the end of another era as Mr. John Oguche retires at 60 from Nigerian Shippers Council, NSC. Joining the council in 1998, he rose through the ranks with zest, becoming an Assistant Chief Administration Officer. Amidst accolades at his farewell, the Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer, NSC, Honorable Emmanuel Jime, hailed his dedication, and colleagues praised his intellect and amiability. Mr. Oguche expressed gratitude for the kind words and urged the council to embrace skill building through dynamic training. His journey was concluded with a legacy of growth and camaraderie.
And what we will say is to say thank you to you. Thank you very much for giving us your youthfulness, because going through your record, it shows that you joined the council at a time when you were so young. And for us to have had the opportunity of having you come all these years, give your best to us, it's a privilege that we so much cherish. We do not take it with levity at all. We also want to thank God that through the years that you were with us, we did not have cause to mourn you. We did not have cause to regret your being with us. I'm very sure that when the annals of Nigerian Shippers Council will be opened, your contributions will be so indelibly noticed. Thank you for giving us your time.
From the records available, you have played a very critical role, even from the junior cadre to the senior cadre. The management is impressed by the level of self-development you have given yourself. Mr. Oguche is a member of many professional bodies, including CILT. He came in, he gave himself a personal development and became a BSc holder. Please put your hands together for him. Some persons would think the money is not enough, but in his bid to ensure he contributed massively to the objective of Nigerian Shippers Council, the man developed himself and today is a degree holder, and that made him to metamorphose from being a junior staff to a senior staff.
I will say John is someone that when you are with, there's never a dull moment. The moment, for me, anytime I sight him, he will say, your beauty is enhancing. So anytime I see him, I know there's going to be some kind of fun. Yeah. So I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful to you. I thank God for your life. I thank God for who you are.
And I wish to thank the management and staff of the council for making this occasion a success. I also thank Almighty God for keeping me alive to witness this day. And I take all that has happened to me throughout my service as a compliment. More so, I advise that we should not look down on anyone while in service and should create opportunities for every staff to thrive irrespective of their grade or grade. We should learn to light a candle in the darkest moment of someone's life and be the light that helps others to see. This is what gives life its deepest significance.
Nigerian Shippers Council is emphasizing the need for improved collaboration with the Nigerian Customs Service to enhance efficiency, smooth operations, and effective service delivery at the ports. Zonal Director, South-South Zone of the Council, Mr. Glory Onojedo, expressed this during a visit to the Customs Area Comptroller, Baba Imam, in Port Harcourt. This collaboration aims to reduce delays in cargo clearance, increase revenue, and uphold the role of the Shippers Council as port economic regulator. The Customs Area Comptroller praised the Council's role and affirmed commitment to synergistic efforts to trade facilitation within legal bounds. The Council's impact in the maritime industry is indisputable as it continues to earn the respect and admiration of esteemed industry players, exemplified by the gratitude expressed by Dangote Sugar here in this letter. We write to express our appreciation in respect of Nigerian Shippers Council's kind intervention towards resolution and release of our company's outstanding containers deposit refund by Hapag-Lloyd Nigeria. We particularly wish to put on record our commendation of the Complaints Unit of Nigerian Shippers Council for the unrelenting efforts and support whenever requested by our organization. Once again, we thank you all and request that you accept the assurances of our esteemed regards. We continue to urge all stakeholders in the maritime industry to explore our website www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng for further insights into our service offerings and to lodge any complaints they may have. Now, let's delve into our complaint register. From 6th August to 12th August 2023, we received a total of 7 complaints, which are currently undergoing thorough scrutiny. These complaints include extortion, arbitrary charges, excessive demurrage, illegal action, container stealing, container deposit refund, and missing container. Now, let's set forth on a journey to uncover latest developments in the global maritime domain. In a recent occurrence, a tugboat sank in the Suez Canal following a collision with the Hong Kong-flagged LPG tanker named China Gas Legend. The Suez Canal Authority stated that efforts are underway to rescue the 7-person crew and recover the tugboat. The incident's impact on canal traffic remains undisclosed. The Suez Canal, which is a vital passage for global trade, is often navigated by larger vessels, and tugboat plays a crucial role in guiding ships. This incident echoes the notable grounding of the Ever Given in 2021, which disrupted canal traffic for a week. Divers have uncovered 97 kilograms of cocaine, worth about 9 billion naira, on a merchant ship at Malta Freeport in Massax Lock. The illicit substance was found during an unplanned inspection by higher security divers hidden in plastic-wrapped packets. The ship, registered in Portugal, sailed from Panama to Italy with a suspicious stop in Malta. Magistrate Ellen Rizzo leads the investigation, aiming to uncover the drug's origin, recipient, and associated criminal network. The findings suggest a significant drug trafficking attempt with transnational implications. And that concludes the tidbits for this week.
From A to B, from A to B, from
The Nigerian Shippers Council is now better poised with responsive systems in place to help you and other shippers get seamless, stress-free transition for your clients' goods from point A to B. Today at the Nigerian Shippers Council, timeliness, orderliness, transparency and efficiency is all we care about. Put your complaint through to our helpline. Visit us at number 4 Ayodele Shoyode Lane, Apapa, Lagos, or reach us on www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the point of your need.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the port of your needs.
We planned our landfall today for precisely this location, and we're so glad that you arrived with us. Until we meet again next week for another exciting voyage on the Shipper, here's wishing you a swimmingly great week ahead.